Welcome to the Love is the Cure Foundation podcast. I'm Alfonso Vega. On the Love is the Cure Foundation podcast, our mission is to create content that offers value to families navigating the challenges of pediatric brain cancer. We aim to give families a clear understanding of what to expect at each step of their journey, from diagnosis to treatment and beyond, helping them feel more prepared and less alone during such an overwhelming time. We share our journey with Inigo to show you what's possible, because right now, we believe it's the most meaningful way we can help others. By sharing our experience, we hope to provide comfort, guidance, and a sense of hope to families who are facing similar challenges. Part of our journey with Inigo involved asking for financial help. Like many families facing pediatric cancer, finances quickly become a significant focus. We weren't the type of family to look outside of ourselves for assistance, and sharing our struggles felt uncomfortable. But cancer changed everything. We aren't breaking new ground here. We're aware that people in a health crisis in the US use crowdfunding regularly. But in polite society, this can seem like an out-of-bounds conversation. We want to share our experience, and in doing so, we hope someone will find it valuable, helpful, or interesting. Our focus has always been entirely on Inigo, making him comfortable, attending to his every need, and often just trying to get through each day. Early on, we had to make difficult financial decisions. Linda and I knew immediately that we needed to be with Inigo full-time, which meant leaving our jobs. This decision was particularly complex because Inigo was diagnosed during the pandemic. I had already stepped away from work, but Lindy, as a nurse, was still actively working. With her experience, she anticipated what Inigo's diagnosis would mean, and we agreed that being by his side was our priority. Of course, every family situation is different. We were able to focus entirely on Inigo as we didn't have other children to care for. We were also in a position to sustain ourselves for a short while, but we knew that wouldn't last forever. It took almost a year after Inigo's diagnosis to finally ask for help through a GoFundMe campaign. This is one of the main reasons we wanted to make this episode. In all honesty, we waited too long. We took on financial exposure in a way that could have become very detrimental to Inigo as his journey continued. Like many, we hesitated to reach out, feeling guilty about asking for help through donations. But the reality is that being with your child during such a critical time often means stepping away from work, and unfortunately, your bills don't stop when your child gets cancer. Your mortgage, your rent, utilities, all of it keeps coming. You become much better equipped to meet your child's needs through their cancer journey if you don't need to focus on the financial intricacies of daily living. We've put together a short list of steps that were necessary for us and may be helpful for someone else. Steps to when your child is diagnosed and you need financial help. Step number 1, contact your social worker. As soon as you're in the hospital, reach out to your assigned social worker. They can guide you through what financial support systems are available within the hospital and through external programs. They provide valuable resources and help you navigate assistance options. Number 2, assess your finances. Take a close look at your financial situation. Identify any unnecessary subscriptions, services, or expenses that can be put on hold or canceled altogether. This will prevent funds from being siphoned off for non-essential items while you focus on your child's care. Number 3, reach out to your community. Identify the communities that you are part of: your child's school, your place of worship, your neighborhood, your gym, your workplace, your barbershop, your book club, your golf club, your cycling club, your motorcycle crew, your rock climbing buddies, your hiking club, any other local groups that you can think of. This is a numbers game. I will tell you that from the get. This is a numbers game. Share your story with them. Let people know what your child is going through and emphasize how important it is for you to be with them throughout their treatment. Be open about the fact that you need help, whether it's emotional, financial, or practical. People will get tired of hearing it. They will fatigue. Doesn't matter. Let people know. Number 4, start a GoFundMe campaign. Don't hesitate to start a GoFundMe or a similar crowdfunding campaign. This has become a common and accepted way to seek financial help during challenging times, especially with medical expenses. Create a clear and honest campaign that tells your story and explains your needs and gives people an opportunity to support your family during this critical period. People need to be convinced to help. This is why you need to write it out clearly what you need and explain it to them. We are not a society that freely gives without being convinced, so that's why we say that. All right, by following these steps, you may find the support you need to stay focused on what matters most, caring for your child. It's not just about financial help, understand this. It's about allowing yourself to be present with your child during this crucial time, which in our case we knew could be limited. It's okay to ask for help from your community, from society, and from those who care about you. Here is some cautionary info to consider. Starting a GoFundMe can stir up a whirlwind of emotions that we experienced. First and foremost, you know you need it, but that doesn't make it any less nerve-wracking. There's anxiety about whether you'll reach your goal, and the pressure builds as you tie so much of your hope to the success of the campaign. Questions start to flood your mind, like, does my community care about me? Do people understand our story? Will they want to support us? Do they realize how much we need help? You wonder if people truly grasp what your family and especially your child are going through. And all of those thoughts, the uncertainties, the vulnerability, can make the entire process feel overwhelming. In a way, starting a GoFundMe can feel like holding a mirror up to your community, reflecting how much support you have or that you fear you might not have. It becomes easy to keep a mental tally of who has contributed and what they've given. You might start questioning why some people haven't donated or why certain contributions weren't larger. To this day, I still know, for the most part, who gave, how much they gave, and how frequently they gave. It's a tough emotional landscape to navigate because you're already facing one of the hardest situations imaginable, and now you're also grappling with the dynamics of asking for help in such a public way. Here's a warning. Some people will decide to not help you in this way. I mention this because I don't think we were fully aware that this would happen. We thought naively that as people were watching our story, they would absolutely want to help us in whichever way possible, and that isn't always the case. There were people we thought that were close to us who decided to not help us financially or in any other way. Even parts of our family chose not to help us. This is just a heads up to be aware that it may happen to you. On the flip side, we had people we had never even met or weren't connected to who jumped in to help us financially. We had old college friends who we hadn't talked to in 20 years support us on GoFundMe and reach out to reconnect. That was pretty incredible. Again, a warning, some people will decide to not help, but this will be countered by an amazing community that steps in, sometimes people that you haven't been in contact with for years. That is such a beautiful aspect of this experience. It truly overshadows the darkness of those who choose not to help. This is just one of those situations in life that shows you what real love looks like. It reveals your true community and family. If this happens to you, don't carry it. Let it roll off your back. What you're going through is unimaginable to most people, and while that doesn't excuse them, it's important to focus on the support you do have. If your child passes away, you don't want any of that darkness to linger as you work on healing from your loss. All right, a conversation for you that are supporting others. GoFundMe has almost become synonymous with healthcare needs today, especially for cancer stories. A study in 2023 by the American Cancer Society found that only 15% of GoFundMe campaigns actually reached their goal, with an average intake of about $8,000. For many families, including ours, those numbers are nowhere near enough to cover what's needed, and I will link the article I will link that study below. Some advice we'd like to offer from our own experience is this. Consistent donations over time can be incredibly helpful. If more people were willing to donate monthly, it could make a huge difference. Imagine if 1,000 or 2,000 people each gave $5 or $10 or $20 a month. That steady support can go a long way in helping a family meet their daily needs. If you're watching this and know someone with a GoFundMe, consider giving monthly like you would pay a bill. Even after a family reaches their goal, they likely need more than what they've asked for. Most families set a goal that's less than what they truly need simply because they feel uncomfortable asking for more. If you are supporting a family through a GoFundMe, don't hesitate to contribute. Small donations, small consistent donations can make a big difference. If you can, be generous. Give more than you think that they need. Even if their goal has been met and their child's journey continues, they need more, even if they're unwilling to up their goal need. What you're offering is more than money. You're giving hope, relief, and most importantly, time. Time that parents can spend with their children without worrying about mounting bills. Time that allows them to be present for the most important moments of their lives. Another fair warning, please don't ask families about specific bills. Why do I say this? Because when you are helping your child through these journeys, you don't have the time, especially if you're sitting in an infusion clinic, if you're driving hours to get to the hospital or to the clinic, if you're getting up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to rush your child to the hospital because they have a fever. You don't have time to sift through your bills and figure out what you need. Most of us have put our bills on auto pay at this point, especially for a family with a child with cancer. I'm not focused on that. I just know that it's on auto pay. That bill will be paid this month. I am focusing on my child. So if you're someone that is wanting to help and you are forcing a family to stop, to take the time to look and see exactly per the penny what they need on such and such a bill, that's not help. You're making it more difficult for them. Please don't do that. That takes so much energy and focus for a parent, and it takes it off of that child. Please don't do that. That's not help. As a society, we can do better. We have lived through this, and we know firsthand how vital this kind of help is. As a society, we have the power to provide the support that families need. Let's lift each other up and be the community that steps in when it's needed most. At the Love is the Cure Foundation, we started with one goal in mind: to help families navigate the difficult road of pediatric cancer with the right information and support. We're dedicated to sharing stories, advice, and a behind-the-scenes look at what families like ours go through. Remember, there are resources available, and you don't have to do this alone. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Your child's well-being is the most important thing, and leaning on others during this time is not a sign of weakness. It's a reflection of the strength you have in caring for your family. I'm Alfonso Vega, and this has been the Love is the Cure Foundation podcast, or as Inigo would say, conversations. Until next time, go love on someone, give generously, ask for help when you need it, and remember, you are not alone in this journey.